Good evening, everyone, from Saren's Rim. Say hello, Stacy.
Hello, Stacy.
She is back. So glad to have Stacy back after her hiatus. Thank you for joining us tonight. We've got a lot of fun things tonight. I've got some painting. We're going to be working on some of the new Brood releases that will be coming next month. I've also got some sneaky peekies to show you of some things that are coming. At the mid break, I'll show you some renders of a bunch of new sculpts that we've got in and talk about the new way that we're going to be releasing some of our miniatures. We're going to be having what's, I haven't quite got the term yet, but it's basically going to be a pack with multiple units in it. And it'll be a self contained, you know, regiment, so to speak, of units that you can field on the battlefield. So I'm very excited about it. We've got some really unique miniatures coming that I really hope that you like. The sculptor is sculpting nonstop, so thank you, JC. So without further ado, we'll go over to the paint camera and we'll get started for tonight. So let me switch over. So there you see the Brood Biotitan. So this is one of the largest pieces for the Brood. It's the only thing bigger than it is the Behemoth. So we're gonna start working on this bad boy, this bad Larry. So as I've done with my previous Brood, we're gonna use our good old trusty tail light red, we call it, or a hull red, I think it's called, hull red for model color, 985, and this is used on all of the bone plates. So this will go on the things that I want the bone color, and then we leave the rest white, and then we go in and use that purple wash. So without further, we'll start using some of this whole red. So Stacy, you've had a few weeks off. What do you have to say to our audience?
I would have much rather been with you all.
Hopefully we'll get some chatter going in the chats. Hey, old rogue. Hey, Rico. Glad to see you made it. So this weekend coming up, we will be down in Uxbridge, Mass, at the Gamer Flea, at the, what is it? It's the Polish American Hall. Isn't that what it's called?
I believe it is, yes.
Yeah, something like that. It's a lot of fun. This will be my 4th year going. So if you are in the area and you want to stop by, you'll get to meet the lovely Trilaterum Stacy. She'll be able to fulfill all your gaming needs at our table.
I don't know about that, but okay. I'll be there.
We'll have a limited selection of Trilaterum as well as some of our other lines and other various items for sale. So come on by and check it out. We've also got a new catalog that we're going to have on hand so you can take a peek at some of the other sculpts that we have available from some of the licensed lines that we have. It's very exciting. Very exciting.
So, Tim, have you told everybody about your 3D printing that is outside of Trilaterum?
Well, I talk about it a little bit, but not a lot. We have many, many lines that we license through a company called 3D Breed. We've got World War II, we've got Ancients, and in the Roman variety, in the Greek variety, Persians, Carthaginians, Spartans, where you can yell, what do they say? This is Sparta!
No.
No?
No.
That's not what they say?
No.
I thought that's what they said.
No.
I was told that that's what they say.
People are saying that that's what they said.
People are saying.
Uh-huh.
Rico has it. Looks like Rico's got a question. What's Rico's question?
He wants to trade for the apple crisp recipe.
Ooh. What do you have for trade, Rico?
Yeah, I mean, that'll cost you. But it is up for trade, I suppose.
So this guy's got his two arms on the left arm. He's got this big, huge like claw, and then the right arm he has this crystal cannon, and then he's got these two little hands in the middle, so he can grasp and I guess eat things. And that's what those little hands aren't. Those little hands on insects, isn't that what they're usually for? Like
I don't know, man. You're the one who studied entomology.
Holding things while you chow down on it. But yes, there's quite a few lines. We have a 6mm sci-fi line that's got a lot of mechs. We use a lot of those actually we scale them up for Trilaterum, but we do have them all available in 6mm scale, as well as a whole host of terrain options. What else is in there? They've just started a new fantasy line. We have the first sets of sculpts from that. They have like what would you say? They're almost like a Mesoamerican look to them, as well as as well as a what was it called? What are the conquistadors? There you go. They got that kind of feel to them. They're cool. I really like them actually. They're called Awakening of the Sleepers. I think
Tim likes ancient Mayan things.
That is Mesoamerica is my jam.
Mm-hmm.
I've been waiting for years for somebody to really put out a good line.
Mm-hmm. Rico Suave, that could be acceptable. Bring a printout with you, man.
What's he got?
He's got a recipe for me.
Oh, wow. Wheeling and dealing on the side here with Rico.
Oh, and he wants to try out the Tiny Battles Dark Ages for War Master Ancients. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. I have
good call.
I do have that line. Yep. That's a 10mm line. It's kind of cool. It's Battle Hastings is the set that I have. I have some test prints. I did some test prints for somebody. I'm not sure if they picked them up. So if they haven't picked them up, I'll bring some test prints with me so you can see them. The printers have been going just nonstop, so.
I can attest to that.
Yes, they have. So what are the other lines that they have? Oh, they have a kind of weird American 1775 like heroic line that has some really unique looking characters. Those are really kind of interesting. They're just starting out a medieval line as well, so I think they have Moors and crusade, some sort of crusader.
What was I was going through it today and I saw Boudica's in there. I didn't get to look at the army, but I'm guessing some kind of Celts.
Yes, that's in the ancient lines.
That's in the ancient lines. Okay.
They have Celts and Germanic hordes.
Mm-hmm.
So tons of sculpts. Actually, one of the neat sculpts in there is female warriors.
Yeah.
They're really cool looking sculpts. I actually printed some of those out and had them on the loose 3D prints stand.
Mm-hmm.
But they sold. People really like those.
Yeah.
So, another really neat set of sculpts I have is partisans for World War II. I have a whole pack of female partisans in various, cool looking, like they're straight out of a World War II spy novel. Some really cool, interesting sculpts in there.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorites is this girl. She's carrying a box of Molotov cocktails.
Nice.
So she's got all these bottles. It's really like that old style wooden beverage box kind of thing.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. There's a lot of cool stuff in that line.
Yeah, Rico Suave says the new Wild West stuff looks amazing too. Yes. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I have. I've got some stuff printed. I'll make sure they're in the loose 3D print pile too. I have some. I printed out the the Mexican Banditos, and there's a female gang, a Wild West gang that I printed out. So you got Ma and her shotgun.
Very cool. Old Rogue, COVID's got you down. Oh, sorry, buddy.
Yeah, he's probably the fifth person
I know
that I know that's got COVID right now.
It's just going. It's. I mean, they say everybody's gonna get it, but yikes.
Yeah, it really seems to be going around right now. Sorry, frame. Call a frame on myself. So I hope you're feeling better soon, Rogue. Did Django make the cut?
Oh, that would be cool.
Do you remember seeing that in the list?
No. I didn't really look at the Wild West, so I don't know, but that would be cool.
Stacy was my printing partner. She printed and bound the lists for me. So super awesome that she did that. We'll have a couple on hand at the flea this weekend, so people can take a look at them, that sort of thing. And I'll have them going forward. They'll be at all the shows with me, as well as on the front. We've got a new form on the website, and there's a QR code on the front of the catalog, so you can just scan the QR code and then fill in what exactly you're looking for, and I can give you much more specific images of the sculpts, because I've got renders of most of it. They just can't fit it all in the book.
Mm-hmm. Old Rogue, yeah, the exhaustion, slight cold. That's when Tim and I and the fam got it. That was in May.
Is that what it was?
May. And that was the worst part, was the exhaustion. I couldn't keep my eyes open. I couldn't even read a paragraph because it would. I couldn't remember the beginning from the end. It just was awful.
It's brutal. I, to this day, still every day around 2 or 3 o'clock, I just get super tired, and I'm just like, oh, I gotta take 5, I feel for those people that have like the long COVID. Oh, that stuff's.
Who are we talking about? Oh, Dave Navarro.
Dave Navarro, yeah.
Yeah, we were watching Ink Masters. I don't know if anybody watches that. And Dave Navarro is not long COVID, so he couldn't come back. Just terrible.
It is. It's brutal. I know my brother's got it. His wife. They're getting ready to move, and poof, they all get COVID. It's like worst timing ever. So, sorry, trying to cut down on the ums and the smacks. Trying to be a better speaker.
I'm working with them, guys.
She is amazing.
I am.
She's delightful.
I am delightful. If you've never met me, that's my adjective. I am delightful.
Well, I think those are all the spots. I think I want to have the armor showcase on him. So we're actually going to set him aside, let him dry. We'll have to go in there and clean up with some white before we put the purple wash on there. So I'm going to put him aside. And we're going to go to something new. Ooh. Something really cool and new.
You feeling the tension?
I almost knocked my drink over. I'm hitting the camera.
He's so excited.
I'm a mess here.
Yeah. Well, that's not really different than most days. But
thanks.
You're welcome. I mean, I'm not judging. I'm a mess too, but.
So these are super cool. These are some of the new female dwarves that are going to be part of the Kaevur. So these are the power suits. You can see they got these really cool bulky suits and these little blasters, and she's got a cool targeting eye. She's got a cool mohawk and these goggles. They're just super duper cool sculpts. I really like them. If you haven't seen, I finished up some of the regular troops, the non-power suits, and these are what they look like. So I love this sculpt here with the Leia buns. Oh, my favorite.
Very, very cool.
Very, very cool. So these are going to be with the Kaevur release, and they're going to follow with the Kaevur. We're going to go will be the first. Well, them and something else super sneaky that I'll be showing you later are going to be the first to go to the pack format. So instead of being 10 separate units, you'll have maybe 1 or 2 packs that'll be jam packed with 6 to 8 units each, and they're going to be really cool. I'm really excited about them. I think people will enjoy buying them in that format because it'll be a big solid chunk of say 500 points, and you got a whole regiment of really cool miniatures to paint up. So yeah, so those are the Kaevur, and these guys are almost done. So what I've done with these, we'll go through. I used right over a white primer. I started off with the speed paint orange, so that went on the armor, and then I went through and I pulled out the gloves and the crevices in black gray, and then I pulled out the guns in gunmetal gray from Vallejo, and then the flesh, I used the dark flesh tone from Vallejo, a little bit of blonde hair on top. Helmet is just that same gunmetal silver, and then when I gave it a wash. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go in and highlight the faces, and I like to highlight that dark flesh tone. I use this color from Game Color. It's called Scrupulous Brown. It's kind of like an orange brown.
I'm sorry. I have to interrupt here.
Yeah?
How can brown be scrupulous?
Well, maybe it's not scrupulous. It's SCROULOUS.
That's not scrupulous.
I don't know what that is.
I've got to read it.
Okay, you read it. She's reading it now. So
Okay.
anyway, that's the brown we're using today.
Scrofulous.
Okay.
Scrofulous. Okay, I apparently have a word of the day I need to look up.
A diseased, rundown appearance, Old Rogue says.
Yes, that is scrofulous.
Scrofulous, okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Old Rogue.
Now, the key is to use that in a sentence in your everyday conversation.
A diseased, rundown appearance.
Old Rogue, how are you doing? You look a little scrofulous with COVID. No, I can't see you. I don't know that. It's not called Brownie Brown. You would think.
Brownie Brown.
Old Rogue is looking my scrofulous today.
Well, they do have Beastie Brown. Poor Old Rogue. So for what I like to do with this, to do the flesh, and I'm really, you know what? You got the wrong brush here. I need a smaller brush. And basically, I'm just doing edge highlighting on the higher parts of the face. So the cheekbones, the lips, and I basically just get a little bit of paint on the brush. Don't brush it off like you're doing a total dry brush. It's more like I like to call it a wet dry brush. You want a little bit on. That's a little bit more than a dry brush on there because we really want to just hit those higher spots on.
I'm going to call it a moist dry brush and just see who objects to that.
You can see it just kind of hitting those highlights, so that like the cheeks, the highlight on the cheek. You just want to get a little bit of color on there because you want that dark flesh tone to shine through. So like she's got these spots right here on her hair, and we're just kind of getting the spots where the light hits it. And we'll do a regular final dry brush of buff on top of this, but we're kind of building up just a little bit of color underneath the buff. So there we go. So
Old Rogue, you don't like moist, huh?
Oh, moist.
I've never understood the problem with that word, but
I don't get it.
Doesn't bother me, but.
So yeah, so after that little bit of dry brush, we'll go ahead and just get our handy dandy buff. And I was very disappointed. I went to the shop this week and I'm almost out of buff, and they were out of buff completely. I was like, what? No! So I got some competing colors that are kind of looking like buff, But then I came home and I had to order spray paint anyway, so I ordered a couple of bottles of buff just to be safe.
Oh, I hear you on this, but Old Rogue says it's a problem with the moist dry brush and that the moist and the dry are canceling each other out. But
Yes.
I feel like dry brush is a word in and of itself. It's not moist, dry, brush, 3 separate words. I'm going to have to think on this. Though I appreciate your attention to detail in the English language, I too question these things.
So right now I'm just going through with the buff and hitting the blacks. And just kind of giving them just the tiniest amount of highlight dry brush here just so that they pop. I like things that pop. As you can see we hit that face just enough that it's all shining through. I still need to put a little blue on those lenses though. She's got these cute red ponytails here. So we'll hit those so they're highlighted good. Got that hand and a fist ready to punch somebody. I know that feeling, honey. I know that feeling. Down the back here. This back panel with some hoses. So I actually have a new way that I do lenses, and I'm really excited about it. It's kind of a fun way to use your contrast paints. So what I like to do is I paint them the regular silver, and then I get a really bright contrast blue and paint it over the silver, and it really does look like a glowing lens. I really like it. Uh-oh, it's time for the cup. Everybody loves the cup. Here it is. One drop in the cup. Alright, so I need a really thin brush for this. So like what I was talking about is I just take a little bit of that speed paint. Just go on that lens. It really just looks cool.
He does have a ceramic floor tile. You can see it in the camera.
Yes, I do.
Well, I'm sorry. You can see the paint on the ceramic. It's right there.
So I think you can see just that little bit of blue on that. Really just pops. It really makes for for a cool looking lens.
Nice.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Yeah, it looks really cool. I like that. I like it a lot. So, one thing I did forget though.
Okay, I'm colorblind too. Just so you know.
You could, if you look right in this corner, right here. Here, let me just clean it off just a little bit.
For 49 cents, he can buy another brush.
It's right
Why
there.
would he spend?
Right there, you can see the floor tile right there, and right here too. There's a little bit of white floor tile. Here, I'll leave it. Scrape it off. You can see the white here. People that don't believe me, this is floor tile. I'm telling you. See?
I have seen it.
There it is. Look at that. Yay! There's the
No, I am colorblind. It does need a scraping, but he likes it that way. I mean,
I like I said, about once a year, every other year, I'll go ahead and I'll change it. I'll scrape it off, you know. But right now is good. All right, I forgot that she had these little bands on her head.
I think we could have like a unboxing video for the cup. Maybe do a cup and a scrape at the same time.
People think I need a new cup too.
Nobody seems to like the cup, babe.
What?
I like the cup.
People. Okay. All right. So they're good. I think Yeah, fingers crossed for Trilaterum scrapies. Oh my god, wouldn't that be hilarious? A stream where I scrape. Too funny. Yeah, so these guys are good. The only thing I'm gonna do, she's got this itty bitty little lens there, so we're gonna give that a dot of yellow, a little bit of yellow, so it looks like a targeting sensor or something. Is it sensor or sensor? What do you think?
Sensor.
I guess on Star Trek you don't check the sensors.
I don't know. Tomato. Maybe it's different with a different accent. I don't know.
Just tiny. I suck at these itty bitty little dots. Oh, we did it. First time. Woo! First time. No issues. Alright, so these guys will get their base here. We'll work on that after a break, I think.
Cool.
So why don't we take 5? We will go over to the main cam and let's talk Trilaterum. Sorry, folks, I needed to get a little something to drink. Stacy has a stronger stomach than me to be able in the same room as that gnarly cup. Man!
I sleep in the same room as him. I have a high tolerance.
The cup is not that bad.
It's really.
It's just a cup, folks. It's not that bad. Pshaw. So as I talked about at the beginning, one of the things we're going to be doing is we're going to be releasing some armies as chunks instead of single units. And that just makes it easier, I think, on everybody. Me for the number of SKUs I have to track, and you as the consumer, you don't have to figure out, look through, I need to buy 2 of these and 3 of these and 4 of these. We're gonna pattern them so that it's a cohesive, well-rounded regiment, basically, in 500 to 600 point chunks that you'll be able to just put down. Now, one of the ones coming, it'll be bigger than that. It'll probably be close to 1,000 points, but it's going to be really cool, and that's probably the first one I'm going to show you. So this is going to be a mercenary company that we're going to be releasing. We got these sculpts from Ether Studios through a Kickstarter that they did, and we have the retail license for those. So we've scaled them down, and I'm very excited to show them off. So here you can see this will be the entire release that you'll get in the box. So you'll get these nice, cool hard suits. You'll get there's going to be a heavy weapon unit in them. There's going to be some regular troops with rifles. There's going to be an HQ unit. There's going to be a sniper unit. And then there'll be these heavily armed and armored guys that you can see on the back row there. They're very cool models. They're gonna really pop on the tabletop. I've got a one unit already painted, and they look fantastic. I'm really happy with them. So this will be all a single contained release, and you'll get 4, 5. You'll get 6 units within the box, and yeah, they're gonna be super cool. We're still working out all the details on the rules for them, but most likely they will be a fully drop capable army. So all the units will have either drop deploy on their own in conjunction with some of the units having scouting. So they're going to be a really fast army on the tabletop. So we're very excited for those. I got the sculpts in about a week ago, and I couldn't wait to get them printed just because I really like their look. They really just look really cool. So that's the Mercenary Company. So those will be coming. I don't have a release date yet, but I'm thinking those are going to be in November. I may try to have some sneak peeks available even as soon as this weekend at the Gamer Flea, if not at Twilight when we're there, or ArmorCon, because ArmorCon is the 3rd weekend in October.
Yes.
3rd week, 14th through 16th, I believe, and then I don't know. Days run all together. But the the weekend of ArmorCon is the weekend after Columbus Day, and then the next weekend will be at Twilight. So I should have these coming soon. The unit pack is going to be a $20 pack. So for $20, you'll get all the miniatures, the bases, and probably an insert with their full army list. It'll be attached to the regular army list download, but I think for these army packs, we're going to include just a printout of it for you to reference in the box. So for $20, I think you're getting a great deal. It's going to be really cool. Old Rogue's throwing money. So that's the Mercenary Company. We still don't have a name. We're still working that out. So the second thing that I wanted to show you is something else that we just got in. Very, very cool from JC. These are the newest race that will be hitting Trilaterum, probably again November, December time period. We're still working out the details on how they'll be released. I think these are going to be a similar model as the Mercenaries. We'll be releasing them in mass. So we don't have a name for these guys yet, but I think you will like them. So this is an entire avian culture. So we've got different. Stacy loves these. We've got different units that represent different species that live on the planet. So you have to the left, you can see we have some crows, and they will be scouting units. They will have some probably natural camouflage, close range with some close combat weapons. They've got these little arm size, which you can't really see in that picture. We've got the Eagle unit, which is the ones to the front right. They're your riflemen, and they just really look cool. To the back, a little larger, we have the Owls. They're the heavy support. They have these really cool bowcaster looking energy weapons. They're going to be your heavy infantry, but because they're so large, they won't be encumbered, which is going to be an interesting change off. So that not only will they be heavy support, but they'll be able to fight in close combat if they need. In the back, we also have the cavalry with on the giant terror birds, as I'm calling them. We have both the eagles and the crows on them. They look fantastic. The one thing that you don't see in this picture is there's a transport that they'll have. It's a kind of like an air sled that they use to transport themselves on the battlefields. We're super psyched. They're really cool models. JC just knocked it out of the park, and very, very cool looking stuff. Wielding a skillet.
The foghorn leghorn.
Oh, very.
I want Sam the American Eagle.
Yeah, Sam the Eagle from the Muppets. Is this the American Web? I love that guy. He's so funny. I believe he's one of Stacy's favorites as well. So lots of great things coming. Cool sculpts coming out of JC. On her plate right now, we've got a Draconid transport. So I should hopefully have some renders of that very soon. It's again cool and beyond my wildest dreams. I can't wait to see. After that, we've got several other projects that she's got in the pipeline for us. Some super secret stuff that I really think you guys are going to love. So I will keep you guys posted. Always come into the painting because we're going to keep revealing new stuff, talking about new things as we go along. I have released the scenario pack for the ArmorCon event that's going on Saturday night. It's available. It's on my Facebook. It should be available in the ArmorCon event. If it's not, just hit me up on Facebook, Trilaterum, facebook.com/Trilaterum. You can send me an email, info@trilaterum.com, and I'm more than happy to provide you with the PDF. The link is, I've tried to put it on as many places as I could so that people can get to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's 3 unique scenarios that we just finished writing. Kind of find the data, protect the data, And then the final scenario is you've got it back at your base and you're trying to defend your base from a giant onslaught of enemies. So it's going to be really cool and a lot of fun. I've got new mats. I've got some new terrain that we're going to be unveiling at ArmorCon. Lots of fun. So I really hope everybody has some time that they can stop by and say hi. So I guess we'll go back to do some more painting. So why don't we switch back over to the painting cam? If anybody has any questions about what we're talking about, feel free to throw them in chat. I know we've got uh, Old Rogue is stoked, Rico and the foghorn leghorn. That's funny. That's funny, Rico. Too funny. Okay, so let's move back to the painting cam here. All right. So we're going to go ahead and finish up their base. We're going to finish up their base, and we're kind of running short on time here. So we may end up after that. We'll do a little bit of paint on one of the. I'll show you one of the other new brood units that's going to be releasing next month. We finally, I finally got the files supported and ready to go. So I got some test prints to show off. Although they're white, so it may be a little hard to see them, but I can ink one real quick for you so you can see. So let's see here. A thinner brush to get in between their legs. There we go. In between their toesies. So one of the things I really liked that I did was they have these rivets on the arms, and I did them in. I just kind of pulled them out in silver just to make them pop a little bit. It's that's something that I see a lot. It's real easy, little things like that, rivets or just a little complementary color here or there can really make the model. I remember my journey with painting started off. I really had a lot of trouble with color theory. I don't know about you, Stacy, but that's something that I've never learned anything about.
I just can't see it. So, well, that's not. I'm not red-green colorblind, but pastels, forget it.
Yeah. But I never gave it much thought. I was never really much of an artist as a kid. I mean, I'd occasionally draw, the fighter plane shooting at a helicopter or something in class, as every boy I think does. But I never did much with color. So learning color theory, learning how to use complementary colors, that was new for me. It took me a long time, but one of the things I did was I had like a little color wheel, and I used to have it I don't have it anymore, but that was really handy, to look at and see. Okay, this color. I'm going to use this color for this. What do I want to use for a complementing color? I think that the contrasts. I started out using contrasts as they tell you to do right out of the bat with white, and then I've really started experimenting, and I'm finding some really interesting ways to use them. My new favorite way is to paint a solid color on something and then go over it with the contrast. And I really think you get some amazing color variation that way. Instead of it just being on the white. So say if you were using blue, you'd paint like a bright blue and then use a dark contrast, and it really, really pops. We'll work on that next week. I'll show you how I do that. I'm going to work on the compound next week anyway, so that's going to be using a similar technique. So here we go with one of the other new brood units that's coming. These are the worker class. So these are currently the cheapest unit in the game. They are, I think they're 55 points. They're close range, nothing special. They're basically the workers for the brood that they don't give them guns. They just kind of dig and do those sorts of things. But, when you go to battle, you may not be able to see those very well. So I'm going to actually hit it with a wash quick. When you go to battle, you still got to have the workers. They're still going to be, scurrying about. So they're not just going to stand there. These are These are ugly bugs that hate everything. So, yeah, they're going to want to be there too. No, I'm not going to do that because that's going to mess up everything in the long run. So, we'll just keep going like we would normally go here. So, these guys have these claws, which will be black. And then on the ants themselves, the backs, the abdomens down here, and then the crest is what gets the dark brown. So we'll go ahead and just, I think we can get through that before the end of our time. What's our time vector?
We've got about 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah, that's 5 minutes worth of work. It's not a lot.
5 minutes.
You know, when I was a kid, we used to sing the 5-minute song.
I was just going to ask if you were going to regale us with your mother's song.
No,
her version of the quiet game.
The quiet game. She would set the timer for 5 minutes. My glasses.
Oh, yeah.
She would set the timer for 5 minutes. And we'd have to be quiet. If we could be quiet for the 5 minutes, then we'd get some sort of TV time or a treat or something. But she had a song that she sang. It was like, 5 minutes more, just only. And the problem was it was really addictive. So, like, you'd want to sing along with the 5-minute song. And then as soon as you did, you weren't quiet anymore. Oh, I was like, I lost out on the 5 minutes. Yeah. That's okay. So we're just going in here and, guys, I just go about half the abdomen. And then they're back. The back here. It's got armor plates right on the back. Oh, that's not helpful. Nope. Oh, Jesus, sorry. I really hit the camera that time. Sorry about that, folks. And you're in a cramped workspace, unfortunately. I had a little stray bristle on this brush, so I had to use the old X-Acto knife to cut it off. I know, sacrilege. X-Actos on your brushes. I should just grab another 10-cent brush, but you know. So these guys, we just have the back. Oh, I forgot about the legs. So the black, and they got this crest that goes right along the front of their face here that we do in the bone color right there. Back there, and then just around the legs here. These parts of the legs. And that's it. And what I'll do is I'll go back in and clean them up, and then I'll hit them with the purple wash. And then they'll get all the claws will get the black, the eye will get the green, and that's it. Easy peasy, almost as fast as old road paints. That guy is a machine. He paints so fast. One of these days, I'll have him as a guest spot. He could talk about his, or not talk about his super secret techniques. I suppose those would be trade secrets now, wouldn't they? 18 units of worker bugs coming up to 990. Yes, that's exactly it, Rico Suave. I want to see what people do with them. Yeah, they're not great, but 18 units, you're double activating somebody. I mean, most people would have nine or so units at that level, and you got 18. So for every one, you're activating 2. And the other thing that I want to see people do is, say they put out 9 of these, and the rest of their points they fill out with regular units. Well, you could activate just workers, and by the time your opponent is finished activating, you then have your entire big force to deal with. So you could do some really interesting things with those. So yeah, I want to see what people do with them. We've seen the big monster units. I mean, Parisi really hit the ground running and saw some really powerful units, but they're also expensive. point for point, you're paying a lot of points for those expensive units. So now I want to see what people do with some inexpensive units. Alright, we're just going to go here and we got his crest here. Hi, Jack. Our kitty just came in and he was scratching at the door. Heaven forbid we do something and not let him in. Now he's at my feet. So there we go. And then, yeah, we just got to do his legs. And then I think we're going to be just about done for the stream tonight. I had a good time tonight. It sounds like Stacy had a good time. She's going to be doing some super sneaky recipe trading this weekend.
All to your benefit, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. We actually do have some more apples in there. I would like another apple crisp. I'm just saying.
You know the rules. You peel them.
Peel them, yeah. I'm going to peel. Oh, sorry, frame. Yeah. Okay, and that's it for these guys. We'll let them dry. I'll go in and clean them up. And then they're going to get the purple wash. Alright. That's about it for tonight. Boy, what a night. Exciting things happening. We showed some stuff off. We almost knocked the camera off the table. You know, lots of stuff going on.
Good times.
Good times. Hopefully you guys can't hear us getting in and out of our chairs. They're just a little bit squeaky. So anyway. Uh-oh. Rico Swabi says it requires banana leaves.
That's fine.
Banana leaves. So we're going to have to hunt down some banana leaves, apparently.
You got that store.
Sure. There's a grocery we like to go to in Manchester that's got all kinds of interesting things. So, well, I appreciate everybody coming by. I hope you had fun. We'll go ahead and see everybody that makes it to the Gamer Flea on Saturday. And then 2 weeks after that, we've got ArmorCon in Marlborough, Mass. And a week after that, we've got Twilight. So there's a lot of Trilaterum coming on the horizon. So I really hope to see some of you guys there. If you have any questions, feel free to hit us up on social media or email. Or even just say hi. We love to hear you. So I guess that's it for tonight. We're going to say goodbye from Saren's room. Say goodbye, Stacy.
Goodbye, Stacy.
And you guys have a great night. Thank you all for coming.